kit, and then we'll get it cracking. Matter of fact, let's just get it cracking now. So, first off, I do appreciate you guys who are joining my live stream. It's funny. I noticed that now that Dogecoin, Bitcoin, AMC, GameStop, all these quick lick stocks, you know what I'm saying? I noticed that a lot of people who were in this stream when they were trying to hit that quick lick, not in the stream so much. Like, if you check my views from my Fetti Talk, like before I start giving a fuck, when I was really start pushing like the AMC's and shit like that, them views is they're a lot better than what they've been as of late, and that's cool. Like, I'm not tripping off of it. I'm not getting paid off YouTube at this point. I'm not monetized because you niggas ain't subscribing. But my Patreon guys, make sure you guys tap in. Salute to my Patreon guys. But it's just funny how the people who aren't real investors, who have no real intention on being investors, they kind of wean themselves out. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just important. I just noticed that it's a funny thing. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I do appreciate everybody who did join the stream. As always, if you want additional tips on actual stocks, ETFs, just different ways to get to the bag, make sure you guys tap into the Patreon page. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I did want to go over what companies are going to be going public, or not public, what companies are going to be doing their earnings call today. Just as a reminder, the earnings call means that they are doing their quarterly call to let their investors know where their revenue is at the current moment, what they did the last quarter. Did they actually make money? Did they lose money? Why they made money, lost money, whatever. Once again, if you own stocks, you do always have access to join these calls. Just keep that in mind. But the companies that are going to be doing an earnings call today, it is a lot of bank companies, a lot of bank companies. So JP Morgan Chase Company, Goldman Sachs, First Republic Bank. Um, who else? We also have Pepsi Company, like the actual Pepsi Company. And their stocks, a lot of these stocks have gone up today in terms of these companies that I'm naming off. They must obviously know something that people like the average people like me and you don't. But once again, this information is easily attainable in terms of what they actually made, because their website always, any public website who is a publicly traded company, has a option where you can actually see what they actually have been doing in terms of earnings. So this stuff shouldn't come as a surprise, but for the people who don't have the time or the give a fuck to actually look that stuff up, just know that they'll be doing their earnings call for these companies today. There's a lot of other ones, a lot of pharmaceutical companies, companies like Aspen Group, gold mining, a lot, like I said, a lot of biosciences, but the main ones are the bank companies. And how these companies move is going to really determine how a lot of the stocks are going to move after today. But if you've noticed today as a whole, stocks have been pretty flat. And I hate to keep going back to this whole inflation thing, but this inflation thing is a real thing. They just announced earlier today that inflation has risen this month higher than expected. The cost of living since last year has gone up 5.4%. They were predicting that it was going to go up 4.5%. Needless to say, it going up a whole nother percent is something to be worried about. Now, our favorite guy, Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, will be talking to both Senate and Congress tomorrow and Thursday. One of the reasons why the stocks are flat today, because obviously they are waiting to see what he has to say about it. So just keep that in mind. Stocks are going to be pretty flat across the board. Um, Now, how this affects people who don't have stocks, this is important because, I actually just seen a report on CNBC.com, and you always can check this out if you have the time. Is they say inflation concerns have many retirees worried about running out of money. This is a deal. Like, this is a deal because a lot of people, like I said at the beginning of this, a lot of the people who were in these live streams and a lot of people who were following me and asking me these questions about stocks, they weren't interested in long-term money. They was really only interested in the right now. How can I double up right now? How can I get money off AMC right now? Which, by the way, if you guys still have AMC, you're probably playing yourself. I told y'all, if it gets under a certain amount, you need to get that money and get the fuck up out of there. Hopefully you guys did. But that's what a lot of people were here for. Now, that's a problem because if you're not constantly bringing in a steady amount of income right now, then you guys are going to be in a situation that these people are, that this article is about. I would recommend anybody just type in inflation concerns have many retirees worried about running out of money. If you just think that you're going to be 25 or 30 or 40 forever, you are playing yourself. You're going to be them niggas at the grocery store saying paper or plastic because you're not putting yourself in a position where you can actually sustain money long term. A lot of times when people are retired, it's because they're done doing what they're doing for life. So they relied basically on a 9 to 5 or a company job to make sure that they're set for life. This is why it is so important to get into investing because quite honestly, if you're in investing, if you're in a situation where you constantly have money bubbling through S&P 500 or Apple stocks, which has been going through the roof over the last couple of days, or even something as simple as a commodity like gold, these things will ensure that you will never be in this situation. You will never be in this situation because the interest is going to make it to where you can live off of that. So once again, I mean, for the people that are in here right now, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tap into Fetti Talk on steroids through Patreon if you need tips. But if even if you don't need tips and you just need to get into it, get the fuck into it. Is Roblox still worth it? Only stock I have right now is Intel. Yeah, Roblox is still worth it because it's a company that is still ground floor. It just went public like 2 or 3 months ago. So at the end of the day, it's only 20 bucks up from when it originally went public, and it's not going anywhere. I mean, I don't know if you got kids, but if most people who have kids, they normally are playing Roblox. So the numbers went down last month because it's summertime and people are outside. But once it starts cooling up, Roblox is gonna go through the roof again. And actually, yeah, Roblox is still a good buy. But yeah, so I I just want to make sure you guys understand the importance of this. The reason why these guys are worried about running out of money is because the cost of living is going up. So when these people were saving the money from the 90s and the 2000s, they were saving that money based on those prices being at that number forever. So if the numbers go up, the money that they have saved goes down faster, which means that some of these guys might have to go back to work. So I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I never do. I'm not a financial advisor. I always tell people to do their own research, but it is important that you know where we are right now. The price of living is going up. If you take away food and gas, the cost of living has gone up 4.9% in the last year, which is the highest that it has ever been since, let's get the exact number, 1991. So the cost of living has gone up higher in the last year than it has in the last 30 years. This is important to know. I don't give a fuck if you don't have stocks now or not. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter to me. That's your choice. But you have to start putting yourself in a position where you are preparing for the future because you don't want to end up like these people who are just relying on 9 to 5 or 401ks, which don't really give that big an interest anyway. It only really helps if the company is matching you. Like you guys are relying off this shit, and I'm telling you, if that's what you relying on with the cost of living going up, then you're gonna end up just like these old ass people who sit here worried about, do I need to go back to the grocery store saying paper or plastic? Do with that information what you will. Um, so that's pretty much it, guys. I'm not gonna really get too deep into it because, like I said, the market is relatively flat today, and it's gonna probably be flat either by tomorrow or by Thursday, because once again, Senator Powell will be addressing the fact that the inflation um, issue, because this is an issue. I don't care what you guys think. If you guys see the gas is going up, real estate is going up, cost of food has gone up. Check. You ever checked the last time ribs? Check ribs at the grocery store. The shit is up. Everything is up. So if you're not adjusting to it, you're gonna get left in the dust. You're gonna have to be one of those people relying on government. And the more people rely on government, higher inflation goes because we have government paying for people. It's a trickle down effect. Just prepare for it now. I'm not telling you what stocks to get. I'm telling you on Fetti Talk on steroids on Patreon what stocks to consider. But I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. But just know that the people who prepared their whole life, right now, the people who went their whole life just saying, all right, well, I'll just have my little investments and I'll just have my little job. And when I hit 65, I'm just going to live off the money that I've earned. Those people are about to start having to go back to work. Read the article. It'll explain it yourself. I don't want to talk y'all to death, but that's pretty much it, y'all. Tomorrow we will have the Patreon content about more stocks and different investments to look into. We will also have the live stream tomorrow on YouTube. Make sure you guys spread the word. I feel like there's not enough people who have this understanding. I do appreciate the people who take time to get that understanding, but it is important to know that you need to get this understanding. Because if not, you're going to be one of them 40, 50-year-old niggas. Next time you go to the grocery store, look at those people that are 50, 60 years old. Ask yourself, do you want to be that person? You will be that person if you're not putting yourself in a position right now to be good then. Once again, I appreciate everybody tapping in. See you guys tomorrow.